Hi, this is Zeb the Affiliate. Thanks for joining me again on the video. I just want to go over a topic today. The topic today is what you need as a United States citizen to travel. Boy, thank God it's simple. All you need is one of these. This passport from the United States will get you into most countries around the world. So now if you have a passport, you don't need to go through a long visa process and paperwork and verifications like you do if you have passports from some other countries. If you have an American passport, you are pretty much guaranteed that you can travel anywhere in the world. Let me say it again. If you have one of these, United States of America passport, you are pretty much guaranteed that you can travel anywhere around the world. Now, what's the problem? Problem is simply this: most people in America do not have American passport. Sadly to say, the statistics are not good. Most Americans haven't left their state. Most Americans haven't gone to the other side of America. Now you might say, that's crazy. It's the truth. Most Americans live a very provincial life, which to me is a handicap to them because they have the ability, they have the access, they have the means. Most Americans have the means to travel around the world. Several years ago, we took our family to London. I'll throw a couple of pictures from where we went around in London, and we visited the Louvre. Take a look at a few of these pictures. Friends, the Louvre just opened up the minds of my kids and myself and my wife to see years and years of history, European history, true, but years and years of history and amazing artists who some of them were persecuted, some of them weren't believed in, some of them were considered failures, and yet they drove after their passions. I want to tell you, it really opened my mind, especially when you see some of the religious artwork of the dying of Christ and the church and all of that. And you think, here are people lived in a year long ago, but they were people like us, and they had convictions, and they had love, and they had desires and drives and passions. And that was an amazing trip for my family and myself, just to get out of America, to go to a completely foreign culture. We were in Paris. We didn't understand the language. We spent New Year's and Christmas in England, and we spent in between in Paris and a little bit after New Year's in Paris. And I want to just say that was the best decision that we made as a family. We had gone to Canada, but Canada is a lot like America. Now, I'm not saying don't go to Canada. You will still need your passport to go to Canada. Canada is a great place, great people, great sights. I would say if you are able and have the means, sure to take a trip into Canada. But what I'm talking about today is to get further away from the Western European mindset that we have here in the United States. Move out to countries that don't think like us, that don't have the same culture as us, don't have the same likes as us. And I want to tell you, that would help you to grow emotionally and mentally, to understand that this world is a big place. There are a lot of people that are good, honorable, likable people, but they're not like us. And that, to me, is the amazing thing about travel. From my experience, for the people that I meet and I know and have meaningful conversations with that don't travel, are very shallow. They think that their political or ideological bent the rest of the world has is not true. They think that their culture that they like and believe that is the best culture in the whole world, the rest of the world don't believe that. And to understand that I'm a part of a whole, that America is not the whole pie, but we just a part of this whole ball of mankind living here together, doing life together, I want to tell you, it's one of the greatest experiences you can have. The hindrance to not traveling, to not moving abroad, to not getting outside of your box is that you will live a very narrow, sheltered life. Your memories won't be as good. Your joys won't be as good, because there's a lot of things, a lot of experiences that are valuable for you and your family and your children to experience that you won't experience in Kentucky. You won't experience them in Texas or New York or San Francisco or California, where I am. You have to go beyond where you're comfortable. Because when you get outside your comfort zone, and traveling does that for you, my friends, outside of your comfort zone, you grow. No one grows in their comfort zone. They're not stretched. They're not pulled. You know, we were in Mexico recently. We just again, I'm going to go back to this. We just used this, walked across the border. And, you know, I hadn't used Spanish in years, decades. And we were over there grappling with the language, struggling with the language, trying to remember vocabulary that Mr. Zamora taught me in high school Spanish class that we had forgotten. And I want to tell you, it was a very rewarding experience to be grappling with a language, trying to remember, trying to conjugate, trying to communicate with people that were trying their best to communicate with us. And it just gave a different bond to that experience than if I'd gone to a place that everyone spoke English. For me, one of my desires is that when I die, rather than have a lot of material things cluttering up my house and having my children have to go through all my stuff after my life is over and wonder, was this valuable or that valuable? In exchange, I would rather have a passport full of memories that I can say that during my life, I spent these wonderful times with my family, with my children, enjoying and exploring the world and all that it has to offer. Now, I know some people don't have a desire to leave their hometown. That's fine. But if you do have a desire, I want to tell you that it is safe outside of America. It is safe. You can be assured that going to Mexico, going to Panama, going to Colombia, Venezuela, or any of these countries, not Venezuela at the moment, but in the past, Venezuela, that they're safe. They are indeed safe. Most people in the world, I think, try to live an honorable life. There is crime, there are murders, and there are violence. There is violence around, but I want to say that most of the people do not get involved in that kind of activity. If that's the case, you are safe. So make a plan. End of this year, this is 2021, we're ending in 2021. Start making a plan and plan financially for it, just to take a quick trip across the border to Mexico, or take a quick trip across the border to Canada. See something else other than your hometown. It would be a tragedy for you as an American, with all the privileges that are afforded to Americans in the world, to have never left America. That would be a travesty. But too many people in America will die never leaving America, never going across the river to see their neighbors in another country. So I hope I've encouraged you a little bit to use this thing again, your American passport, and start traveling. Go somewhere. Take a trip, even if it's only for 3-4 days. I think once you do that, you'll get that travel bug, and it'll be harder and harder for you to stay in your hometown the rest of your life without having traveled anywhere. So until next time, thanks for joining Zeb the Affiliate. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share, and we'll see you on the next journey.